Well, listen here, bozos. Here's what they don't tell you. How are people this stupid? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait. Yes, it does. Here's what these people do in the media, ESPN, whatever. They love building up all these players that way in 2 or 3 years. They can kick them back down when they don't live up to those expectations. Whoa. Hold on. I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, why are you so worked up? Why are you so mad about this? Let me tell you right now. You'll see exactly why in this video. It's a flat out shame and disgrace. It really is. We're going to talk all about it in this video, but also we're on the road to 200K. We are super close, so if you'd help us out, I'd greatly appreciate it. If not, that's cool too. And now without further ado, let's get into it. Oh man, if you are a Chet Holmgren fan, this will not be the video for you, and this is your early warning. You might want to click off now. Here's my dilemma with this situation. I don't know if it's more of they've been lying to you about Chet Holmgren or Chet Holmgren himself has fooled everybody. I've almost come to the point where I believe it's a mix of both of those things. I can speak on this situation and I know a lot about it because I've been following Chet Holmgren ever since he was in high school, and the OGs of the channel, you remember those days. In high school, I thought Chet was awesome, but here's the thing. Look who we're comparing him to. High schoolers who are what? 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2". He did play some competition here and there, but for the most part, we know high school basketball, it's not too difficult for these NBA stars. I can almost guarantee you every person that plays for a D1 school, and I mean actually plays and starts or they get good minutes, they dominated in high school. Also, gotta throw this in there, and I'm gonna talk about it a lot. He's 7 foot. I expect him to dominate. Coming out of high school, I thought he was a good prospect. I didn't think he was a great one, just good. What concerned me the most about him heading into the next level, whether that be college or the NBA, was yeah, he's 7 foot, but he doesn't play like he's 7 foot. On the defensive side of the ball, yes, he is a force to reckon with. He's the definition of a paint protector, but here's the thing, he's proven he's really weak and you can back him down if you want to. Granted, yes, if you do back him down, you're gonna get your shot blocked here and there. Even though he is skinny and you can push him around, it's not really the defense I was concerned with. Is defense important? Yes, but it's 2022, offense is king. If you don't know that or believe that, I don't know what to tell you, you gotta get caught up with the modern times. We just saw a Warriors team who had mid-level defense at best win a championship just because of how good they were on offense. The Boston Celtics were 2 times better than the Warriors on defense, and they still didn't win. Say what you want, defense, it's important, but offense, it's more important. And unfortunately for Mr. Chet Holmgren, offense is not his strong suit. For all my people watching this video that do believe in him, here's my question to you. What does he do on offense that stands out to you? Because if you're a top 5 or top 10 or even drafted in the NBA whatsoever, there's got to be something about your game that stands out. You got to be outstanding at it. Yes, he's good, maybe great on defense, but offense, it's irrelevant. Fast forward in time to when he went to Gonzaga with Drew Timme, I watched a ton of their games. And Holmgren wasn't even the second, third, and I don't even know if he was the 4th option on offense. The number 1 option for him was Drew Timme, and at the college level, he's a monster, and the second option, in my opinion, was probably Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard, he's extremely underrated, and he also got selected in the draft. I think it was the 31st overall pick, it was something like that. The offense wasn't run through Chet, and the other 2 guys that were competing for that number 1 spot, Paolo Banchero and Jabari Smith, the offense at college was run through them like any top 5 or top 10 pick should be. Who's another guy? That point guard, Jaden Ivey. You get the trend of this. Holmgren doesn't have a post game. Yeah, he could take advantage of smaller opponents in college, but in the NBA, not gonna happen. I don't care if he is 7 foot, he's built like a stick bug. They're gonna push him around. In college, you're not playing 7 foot centers, but in the NBA, they're everywhere. You know what? Hold on, let me just read you off the stats because everybody loves to bring these up. For Gonzaga, he averaged 14 points per game, 10 rebounds, and near 4 blocks. And everybody loves to harp on this, how he did it at such an efficient rate of 61% from the floor and 39% from the 3-point line. Well, listen here, bozos, here's what they don't tell you. Every single one of his 3-point shot attempts, I watched almost every single Gonzaga game, was wide freaking open. They left him open because they are okay with Chet Holmgren settling for a 3. Because if he does drive in the paint, yeah, he can be efficient against college competition. Everybody loves to harp on how he's going to stretch the floor and shooting 39%. That's magnificent. And I hate to discredit it because that's what I'm doing, but any player at the college level, if they had wide open 3-point attempts, they're shooting at minimum 46-47%. So for him to shoot 39% wide open, not impressive. And in the NBA, yeah, off the pick and roll where he fades out, he might get a couple of wide open ones here and there, but it's going to be rare. The speed at the NBA is way faster than the college level. If you played basketball, you may know what I'm talking about and can somewhat relate. Remember how growing up when you'd switch from middle school to varsity, you could just tell the speed of the game, it was way faster and you had to make quicker decisions. It's the same exact thing from when you go to high school to college and college to the NBA, but almost double that. Once again, let me make this clear, and I want to give credit when it's due. I have almost zero to little concerns about him on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's going to be just fine. Is he skinny? Yes, but he's so tall, so lanky, and kind of athletic for that size, he can make up for it. Obviously, he doesn't have a 40-inch vertical and he's not an athletic freak like Zion Williamson, but he is coordinated. A lot of times when we see these 7-footers, they're not coordinated and that's why they never make it. But ladies and gentlemen, here's what concerned me the most. Almost every time Gonzaga played competition, he folded like an omelet. Take a look at his last 2 tournament games against Arkansas and Memphis. Against Arkansas, only had 11 points. Against Memphis, only had 9. It's not terrible by any means, and I don't think he had an atrocious game, but is that what the number 2 pick in the draft's supposed to play like? All throughout the season, he looked so good because guess what, and I've been saying this for years, Gonzaga plays in the Cupcake Conference. And in reality, that's what I've believed has hurt Gonzaga over the past 8-10 years since they've been making it to the tournament as a 1 seed. I will stand on this to the day I die. Gonzaga is the most or maybe not the most, but one of the most overrated college basketball teams of all time. They go 30-2 every single year, get a number 1 seed, and they wind up losing. Why do they lose in the NCAA tournament? It's because they're not used to playing those great teams all throughout the season. I think if they went to a better conference and played great teams all throughout the season, it would actually help them more even if they did lose here and there. Because at least you're getting used to that competition. Because what happens at Gonzaga, and we see it every single year, they're used to playing all these Joe Schmoes and average basketball players. Then they get to the NCAA tournament and they're playing future NBA stars. And I'm not here to dissect every single one of his college games. You can go look it up for yourself. Every time they played a seemingly good major D1 team, he didn't play that well. But nobody in the media wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about how great he looked against inferior competition. Well, dang man, here's my argument to that. I haven't picked up a basketball in 3 years, but even I think I can go out there and drop 10 points against Pepperdine University. And here's another thing I want to address before we move on. When he played at Gonzaga, yes, he was making Sports Center top 10 plays almost left and right. There would be a lot of circumstances where he would get a rebound, run up the floor, and either shoot a 3 or dunk it himself, and it was awesome. He does make those highlight plays here and there, but here's what they don't show you. He also makes terrible plays here and there. For every highlight play he made, he also made a bad one. He's not a great ball handler, and I saw it time after time when he would try to dribble on offense, they would rip it from him. Last but not least, I want to read this off to you because it caught my attention. So apparently, according to Bleacher Report and ESPN, Chet Holmgren, he flaked and bailed on the Magic. Here's what they said, quote unquote. According to multiple sources with knowledge of the situation, Holmgren bailed early on the last day of his Orlando visit, conducting a brief on-court shooting workout that he cut short. That is really, and I mean really interesting because I didn't hear a single thing about that. It's kind of funny and I can't blame the kid because the Magic, that's a poverty franchise. There's no reason to go there. And after he got drafted, here's what he told the reporters, quote unquote. Now that I'm here, I can officially say this is where I want to be. So going off the information I've seen, it appears to seem that Chet Holmgren did his best to piss off the Magic and not get selected by them. That caught my attention. Let me know what you guys think about that. In conclusion, here's my final take on Chet Holmgren. You can throw superstar out the window. He doesn't have a chance of being a superstar like LeBron James, Steph Curry, anybody like that. I also believe you can throw star out the window. I don't think he's going to be a star player. I think he's going to have a good NBA career. He might make it to a couple all-star games here and there, but nothing more than that. He's not going to be a great NBA player because he's not relevant on the offensive side of the ball. And if you think that doesn't matter, I hate to inform you, but look at Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry, but he's a defensive liability, but he's so good on offense, it doesn't matter. You can't say the same thing about defense, because look at the Celtics. They were defensive superstars. They had Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, but their offense, it didn't translate over, and therefore, they couldn't win a championship. The Celtics proved it. It doesn't matter how many great defensive players you have, you can't win championships on defense. There's nothing wrong with Holmgren just having an average NBA career, but that's all I think it will ever be. I wouldn't mind having him on my team. I mean, he's going to be a solid guy you can rely on. He's not going to get in any trouble, and he seems like he really loves the game. However, at the same time, you got to be realistic with yourself. You have to understand what Holmgren, he's not going to change a franchise. He's a defensive power forward. He can make some threes here and there, but he's not going to win you games. Like always, I am very curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But, what was up, peace, man?